What up, hotheads? I'm Henry, and this is Blaze the Roof. This week, we're reviewing a sauce named Hot and Saucy Garlic and Peperoncini. So the company is called Hot and Saucy. It was created by Sam Davis Alance. I think it's Alance or Alance. I think it's Alance, but anyway. Who was a chef and caterer for 10 years. That's all I really have on the company. But I know that Sam is very involved in her community and is committed to using the highest quality ingredients. Hot and Saucy is out of Harlem, New York. Harlem is a neighborhood of Manhattan, or borough of Manhattan. It was originally settled by Dutch colonists. In case you haven't noticed, Brooklyn, Bronx, all in New York. I mean, it used to be called New Amsterdam, right? Even old New York was once anyway, Harlem. The Dutch spelling of it is with two A's, right? So the extra A was eventually gotten rid of. When Penn Station was built in 1904, many black families were displaced from New York and Manhattan, right? And ended up moving to Harlem. Harlem is typically known as a black neighborhood and is actually the home of the Apollo Theater. As of the 1990s, though, there's been a lot of gentrification, and as of 2008, only 40% of the population of Harlem is black. So, yeah, all right. So famous people include Langston Hughes, who's a writer and activist. He was basically the leader and the face of what was known as the Harlem Renaissance. He wrote many books and poems, such as The Weary Blues. One Marcel Theo Hall, aka Bismarcky, rest in peace, was born in Harlem. James Baldwin, a very famous novelist, essayist, and activist, right? He wrote the great novel The Fire Next Time. Marcus Garvey was a very controversial publisher and journalist. He actually believed in black separatism, right? And he had a big influence on the Black Panthers, the Nation of Islam, and the Rastafari movement. He was also very anti-Semitic. So let's look at the packaging now. So first thing that strikes me about this is the very, very vibrant colors here, right? It's a nice aqua, but it's got a slightly grayish tinge to it. Like a light blue with a slightly grayish color to it with a pink. And I guess like a hot pink. Pretty nice, right? And the purple. It's just a really nice contrast. You don't see very many bottles that are this lively and beautiful. It is a mild sauce according to this. I haven't tried any of the other sauces. This will be my first one. So this thing says it pairs well with chicken, tacos, fish, eggs, and as a dip, to name a few. We'll see what this tastes like it would go good with. Well, let's look at these ingredients. The ingredients include peperoncini, water, salt, vinegar, citric acid, cilantro, honey, sugar, and garlic. So this had a lot of separation earlier. There's not an agent in here like xanthan gum to keep it from separating. So the ingredient I want to talk about here is the peperoncini. It is also known as the Golden Greek and the Tuscan pepper. So it differs a lot from banana peppers, which I'm actually not a fan of too much, really. So these are very popular in Mediterranean cuisine, used heavily in salads. I actually use them in what's known as the Mississippi roast. Excellent, by the way. They range between 100 and 500 SHUs, so this is not what we would call a very hot pepper. Okay, it's high in vitamin A and C, also high in fiber, as well as calcium. They do have a more distinct flavor than the banana pepper or the wax peppers, right? I think these are typically also pickled more often, but so are the banana peppers. These tend to have just like a little bit more of just a really good natural flavor, I say, as opposed to the wax peppers. So, and yeah, like I said, they're often used in salads, in cooking, or as an edible garnish. So before we get any further though, let's hear from this week's sponsor.
When you go mountain climbing, you need gear. Here at Climax, we have all the necessary climbing gear needed to ascend any peak. You'll gush over our low prices. Our wide selection will blow your top. Trust us, we'll get you there. Climax, reach the peak.
Now for the moment of truth. So the great thing about sauces that come out on Hot Ones is you can actually check their SHUs. This one says it's 3,900. It's interesting though because again, pepperoncinis are not that spicy. So I don't know how they got it up to 3,900. I'm a little curious about that. But again, it goes based on, I guess, how much per, it's more like per volume. It is a very liquidy sauce. It is a greenish with a tinge of reddish brown, I guess. Yeah, pepperoncinis are yellowish in color, so I would expect that. This has honey in it, so maybe that's where the little bit of the brown comes from. And garlic. And what I did smell is a lot of vinegar and a lot of garlic. So, well, let's see what this entails. I was not expecting that much honey in it. It was a lot sweeter than I thought it would be, which might actually complement the pepperoncini in some way. It's interesting. It's a very interesting sauce. Very tasty. Again, you get the hit of the honey. You can taste the pepperoncini in the back, the vinegar, and then the garlic on the aftertaste. Not very much burn at all. It is a lightweight sauce. But yeah, if I wanted to, typically on a salad, I'll just throw like oil, vinegar, or lime juice and olive oil. But maybe I would throw some of this because again, it has a little bit of zest, but it has a little bit of sweetness. I don't know if I would use this on eggs. So what did it say it was good on again? Chicken, tacos. I would say definitely pork. I think it would go well with, again, because of the honey. This is not something I would put on my morning breakfast, but you could get creative with it. A dip, I think it's too runny to be a dip. But again, you can probably throw it on like nachos or something like that. Again, the honey is a little pronounced, so you'd have to account for that. I'd say just don't get caught off guard by the honey. And yeah, again, it's not very vinegary, and there's a touch of garlic at the end, but it's mostly sweet. So I don't know. I don't hate the sauce, but I don't love it either. Let's say, again, if it was given to me, or if I were in possession of it, I'd hold. It's not a sell. It's not a bad sauce, but it's not one that I'd necessarily go out and buy either. So next week I'll be reviewing a sauce named Mark's Barbados Style Sauce. Till then, I'm Henry, and remember, spice up your life. Take care.